And we are live on a rainy Wednesday night. Comments are coming in quick tonight. I'm going to get to them in a second. But we're debuting tonight the K&K Sports Show little skirt up front. I got the black background with it. I didn't go white tonight, but again, a special thanks to Coach Breslin for for donating it to the show for All In and K&K. So thank you, Coach. Looks awesome. I'm going to still work on the camera, but it looks a little better. And Mr. Siciliano, how are you tonight?
How's that?
It looks pretty good. Looks pretty good, sis. Looks pretty good.
How's everybody doing? I'm good, thank you.
All right. Mr. Kirkpatrick, how are you?
I'm doing great. Again, a big shout out and thank you to Coach Breslin and everybody at DMK and Carol. That skirt looks amazing. I can't wait to see it in person.
Awesome.
Hey, what happened to Coach Breslin's whiteboard?
We're going to get back to the whiteboard.
Oh, okay.
We're going to get back to the whiteboard.
I thought it was phased out.
No. We got a lot to do with that. You know what? I'm going to say this. If Coach Breslin, if he's free and he wants to come on and explain anything about Gonzaga, anything tonight, if he wants to do a board, he just has to say, I want a whiteboard in. He could come on a whiteboard anytime he wants.
But he's still very upset over the Rutgers game.
Well, his first comment tonight is, what's up, guys? Is Illinois still in the tournament? LOL. Looking forward to another great show and rapid fire with Sis. What does he have in store tonight?
But I didn't do that when Rutgers got beat. That's the difference.
Kurt, let's say hello to everybody who's commented already. Thank you for the comments, and then we'll get the show rolling.
Our guy Amari Smith saying, what's up, everybody? How are you, Amari? Thank you for checking in.
Amari, thank you for joining.
Jimmy Eiserman, what's up, guys?
Jimmy, what's up, buddy?
And again, Coach Breslin saying hello. He says, looking great, looking good, guys. I can see it. All great stuff. So, what do we got on the agenda tonight? Let's go over what you got going on tonight.
We got a little bit of everything. We got, of course,
Kirkpatrick's agenda tonight.
We of course got college basketball Final Four talk. We of course got some NFL. We got some NFL news, and Major League Baseball starts tomorrow, guys. So we're gonna throw some baseball in there as well.
Okay.
Again, comments and questions. Anybody wants to comment, question in, even call in the show. Let us know. We'll get you on. Questions are encouraged. Comments are encouraged. We like to make this interactive towards everyone. So I'm going to throw an interactive question right off the bat, a nice, easy one.
Okay.
I want everybody's prediction on who's going to be in the national championship and who's going to win the game.
Okay.
A nice, simple one to start the show off. And I'll have a couple more throughout the show. Each sport will do a different one for the audience.
Love it. Jimmy Eiserman, Kenny's saying the set looks good. If he thinks this set looks good, wait until next Wednesday night when the green screen makes its debut. And I don't know what we're gonna be. I might be in Gonzaga, maybe in Baylor, UCLA, maybe Houston. I don't know what's gonna be this background next week, but I'm ready to go. By the way, Coach Breslin's answering it right out of the gate. Gonzaga and Baylor, winner Gonzaga. They are playing lights out. Jimmy Eiserman saying the Zags win it all, Kenny.
Well, let me ask you guys that question. We'll go right into that question, and then I got a couple more questions to segue into it. I'll start with Sis. Who's your championship game, and who's your winner, Sis? It's an easy question.
Well, yeah. To be honest with you, I mean, Gonzaga looks unbelievable. You know, they don't look like they can be beat, and everybody's picking Baylor and Gonzaga, so I'm going to pretty much say that, but I'm going to tell you this. I don't like Houston getting 5 points. I'm not saying Houston can't beat them outright, but that's a lot of points.
Kurt, you agreeing with Gonzaga Baylor train?
Yep. I think, again, this is where we got into the whole, Cinderellas were nice early on, but it's just, I think it's a two-team race. I think it's been the two-team race. They're the best. They've been the best. I was talking with Jen this tonight over dinner. We were saying they've been the best two teams all year long, Baylor and Gonzaga. And you know what? We were supposed to see it. That game got postponed. So you know what? Let's see it on Monday night. See who's the best team. I think the best team is Gonzaga. It's their time. It's Mark Few's time. They're the best team by far. I think they're gonna win it all. Henry is saying, what would the 2021 Gonzaga men's basketball team do what the 2015 Kentucky men's basketball team almost did for a perfect season in 45 years? You know what? I'm rooting for.
Henry, you always keep us on our toes. That's a great question.
You know,
a great question. I jumped on this Gonzaga bandwagon. I think that
here he comes, sis. Here he comes. Right now, he's on the bandwagon.
You finally got me on the Gonzaga train, Henry. I think they would definitely compete with the Kentucky 15 and even beat them. That's my opinion.
Me too. A couple more comments. Coach Breslin, I still can't believe that Rutgers had Houston and now they are in the Final Four. I'm still sick over that game.
Yes, we know that.
You know, sis, but
let me give you mine real quick. I'm going to be a little different on the championship. I'm going to go Gonzaga. I'm going to go Houston. Veteran coach Kevin Sampson. They escaped their scare with Coach Breslin, took the words out of my mouth with Rutgers, but they escaped their scare. Underrated team going into this, overlooked team going into the tournament. They were a top 10 team all year. And I think they can beat Baylor. You got to remember, that's an interstate rival, too. I don't know how far apart the schools are, but that's got to be within a couple hundred miles of each other. So that's going to be a nice little state rivalry game there, too, a little added to that.
And Jimmy Eiserman, Kenny, and Sis is saying Michigan should have won. Michigan went, the last over 5 minutes without scoring a point?
A hats off to UCLA. Let me ask you guys my first question. I got some quick hitters.
Okay.
All right. I'll start this one with Kurt, sis. Gonzaga or UCLA? And for the audience, it's time for a debate. Who are you more impressed with? UCLA as one of the last four in, making it to the Final Four, or Gonzaga the way they've been blowing everybody out in their region to get to the Final Four?
Mine's simple. UCLA has no business being in this game. Alabama, Sis's boys, Alabama on Sunday went 11 or 13 for 27 at the foul line, and they lost in overtime. They're like the cat that just keeps having the extra lives. Gonzaga, all I kept hearing is the hottest team in the country is USC, USC, USC. They blew their doors off. Hands down, more impressed with Gonzaga. It ends for UCLA badly Saturday night.
How about you, sis? Who are you more impressed with?
Well, I mean, realistically, Gonzaga's blowing teams out by, double digits, but UCLA, you'd have to say, where they came from. To me, it's a total surprise. That's just me.
I'm going to agree more with both. Both are impressive. I'd be lying if I said one wasn't impressive. But Kurt, I'm going to agree with Sis a little more because they had to go in and beat Michigan State, and they were underdog in that game in the first four. Then they go and play BYU. They were underdog in that game and beat BYU in the first round. Then they go out and beat Alabama, number 2 seed, underdog. And then yesterday they go and beat Michigan. I know you said Alabama free throw, but you got to hats off to UCLA's defense for not letting Michigan score in the last 5 minutes of that game yesterday.
No, of course.
Gonzaga, very impressive, but Gonzaga hasn't beaten the top 10 team in their bracket. So that's why I'm going to go with UCLA, but not taking anything away from Gonzaga. Very impressive, blowing everybody out and not having any letdowns so far to this point. But UCLA playing that extra game and getting to the Final Four as one of the last four in, that's a little more impressive if I had to pick one.
Couple more comments. Jimmy Eiserman saying Michigan went numb yesterday. Coach Breslin, Michigan not having their best player in crunch time played a big role in that game. Jimmy Eiserman saying he's more impressed with UCLA being in. Coach Breslin's also saying, I agree with Sis too with UCLA being in the Final Four. They almost blew the overtime game against Alabama. Not sure what they were going to end that game and gave up the shot, but they were mentally tough to finish that game in overtime. Henry Zimanoff, The Pac-12 was dominant in the 2021 men's basketball tournament, but will we ever see an all Pac-12 national title game in the near future? Kenny.
Near future, that's going to be hard, Henry. But I could see it in the future. With the Big Ten, Pac-12 having this type of turnout in this tournament, I think it's going to open up a lot of schools for some top recruits. I really do.
And one more comment, and I'm going to go to Sis on this one. I agree with Coach Breslin. Do you agree? Because me and Hoops are watching that game on Sunday, and when UCLA was up 3, and the kid from Alabama tied the game at the buzzer in the 3, I just looked at Hoops and said, UCLA's done, man. They're dead. Like, they got to be mentally shot. So, Sis, were you a little impressed that UCLA bounced back from that? I mean, you know, they screwed it up. They had the game won. They give up the 3 to tie it. And now going into overtime, I thought all the momentum was with Alabama. But all the momentum was, I mean, really, the team that dominated was UCLA. So what's your thoughts on that going into overtime, that game?
Well, when he hit the shot at the buzzer, to be honest with you, I thought that was it. I figured, okay, that's a miracle shot. Went in, and here comes Alabama, and guess what? They got beat.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep.
And you know what? You got to hats off to Cronin, the coach for UCLA, because he turned that. He was that coach when he was with Cincinnati. That was a top team every year.
Yep.
And now you went over to UCLA, and look what he's doing with this UCLA team. This UCLA team is going to be a dangerous team. Like Henry was asking about the Pac-12. In general, I think they're going to be a strong conference. This UCLA team is going to be very dangerous again going forward.
But I'll tell you this, though, Kenny. Gonzaga's averaging over 90 points a game. He holds Gonzaga in the 60s, then I would just give that guy a blank check and tell him whatever you want, because I can't see it. He's going to have to score. He's not going to beat this team 60.
No, Kurt, I'm saying the blue blood school, though.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to get the recruits again. That's going to be a team to watch out for.
Oh, absolutely.
In the coming years.
Absolutely.
They're back on the map.
Yeah.
That school is back on the map and going to be, I'm saying, a top 10 recruiting school for the next few years.
Okay.
My next question, fellas. Henry mentioned the Pac-12 having a strong turnout.
Guys, real quick, I don't cut you off, Kenny, for a lot of people, but I do for Mr. Carson Shear from Ticket Time. Yo, what's up, guys? Have a great show.
There he is.
So I had to cut you off and say hello to Carson.
You too, Carson. Ticket Time, 8:30 this evening on YouTube. Check him out. I will catch up with you a little later, my friend. So my next question, and Carson's still listening, he might be able to answer this one before he gets ready for his stream. Big Ten, Pac-12 Henry was asking about the Pac-12. Well, I'm going to ask about the Big Ten. This, in my opinion, was a bad showing for the Big Ten to not even have anybody in the Final Four after numerous teams being number 1 seeds, number 2 seeds in the tournament. Is this going to affect the Big Ten going forward? And in the next couple of years, you won't see them as the top conference. They'll be more like number 3 or number 4 in the country as a whole, as a conference.
Well, Carson, before you ask me, or says Carson saying Big Ten was a letdown in the tournament.
I agree. Sis, do you think it's going to be it's going to piggyback and it's going to continue to be a continuous downfall for the Big Ten, or is this just a tournament thing that they all had bad?
I really think it was just a tournament thing, and they all had a bad year in the tournament. I don't think it's going to continue. That's a pretty strong conference for basketball. So that's me.
Listen to this comment Carson's making. I didn't even know that I forgot about this, and this is crazy when you think about it. Big Ten hasn't won a title since my Spartans in 2000. 2000. That's crazy.
Wow.
When you think of all the teams, like 2000?
That's a long time. That's 21 years.
21 years.
Do you think they're a little overrated, Kurt?
Jimmy Eiserman saying Big Ten will bounce back. Yeah, again, I think they were very, very disappointed, I think. Again, Michigan, injuries I don't want to sit here and say injuries are an excuse, but they did lose one of their best players. They got to the Elite Eight. They were a basket away. I agree with Coach Breslin. You have this kid in that spot last night, they probably win that game. But there's no excuse for Illinois, no excuse for Ohio State. Ohio State cannot lose in the first round. I'm sorry. Outcoached that game. And Illinois to get beat the way they got beat, I mean, you're talking about you're probably going to have 3 or 4 pros on that team. Pros. And, listen, I watched Oregon State make defensive adjustments against Loyola Chicago. You're going to tell me the Oregon State guy could do it, but Underwood can't from Illinois? That's disappointing, guys. That's disappointing, in my opinion. But I think overall, Kenny, listen, Michigan's you got your better programs. Michigan State's going to come back. Ohio State, Rutgers is going to get the influx of the Jersey kids.
Watch out for Maryland.
Right, Maryland. Those
Maryland
schools. I think the Big Ten will bounce back. I do.
I agree with both of you guys. Plus, our guy Kurt, Mr. Mike Woodson, going to Indiana.
Yes.
So they should start getting some talent over there. An excellent coach, I think. A nice move for Indiana. Indiana made the move. You know what? They had a couple stud. They definitely had one stud on their team. They didn't produce. Move on to the next coach. There's a couple coaches that I would call out, and I would be thinking about moving on elsewhere, and that's the Iowa coach and definitely the Ohio State coach.
I heard this about the Iowa coach. Do you know the Iowa coach never made it? Fran McCarthy never made it to the Sweet 16?
Yep.
You cannot, with that talent he had on his team this year. Purdue's another one.
Oh, Purdue. Absolutely.
Bye.
Matt Painter losing to North Texas in the first round?
Bye. Goodbye.
But you know what, though, Kenny? It's not even Jimmy Eiserman saying Juwan Howard will keep Michigan competitive for a while. I agree. You know what it is, though, sis? We look at it as a coach, and this is what bothers me with the like Kenny's saying about Painter and Purdue. Because I watched that I needed Purdue in that game. North Texas is, seriously, they're like little small forward guys, right? 5 little guys. Purdue has the guy Williams, the center, where Michigan State and Michigan can't stop him. They don't give him the ball down low, sis. They're taking threes. They have him outside. Where's the coaching of timeout? Get the ball low. When they were down 8 with 3 minutes left, go low, go low, go low. Boom, now you're into overtime. What do they do in overtime, sis? They don't give him the ball down low. That's coaching.
Yep.
That's coaching.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Come
I agree.
on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Try to get it inside.
I'm going to give one coach a pass, and I'm going to say 2 got to go. Coach I'm giving a pass is Underwood for Illinois. I'll give him a pass.
Why?
Interstate rival. I'll give him a pass. They came out of nowhere. They got hot. Let's see what he can do next year with this team. They weren't on top at the beginning of the year. They got hot. We all rode that train, and they had a bad game. I think it was a bad game, in my opinion. I don't think it was coaching. I think the kids were off. I think so. I'll give that coach a pass.
What? Wait. So you're giving a pass?
Ohio State cannot lose to Oral Roberts, and Iowa cannot get blown out from tip-off to buzzer against Oregon.
But see, this is where I disagree with you, Kenny. And I'm going to disagree with one thing. Like that. Listen, I watched every second of that Illinois Loyola game. Loyola did the same thing time after time. When the point guard, either it was the freshman kid or what's his name? Desmoyo, whatever the hell the guy's name from Illinois, they would trap it, buzz it, and Illinois never had an answer to it. That's coaching. Switch it up. Switch it up. That's the thing that bothers me.
That's fair. I'll give that to you.
That's or like the Ohio State game where they let the kid Washington, number 4, come in the game, and you have Liddell, the center, and he's killing them down low, and just the ball never goes back to him. Sis, isn't that coaching?
Loyola did a great job shutting the big boy down on Illinois.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
were double and triple teaming him. They couldn't get the ball in the middle, and obviously it was bothering them. You could see it throughout the whole game. I mean, you were texting me 3 minutes into the game, and I was agreeing with you. You could see the way the game was going.
you could just see it.
They were in major trouble. You know.
Kenny,
Couple more comments you want to
couple
read?
more comments. Henry Zimenoff. Now the Big Ten could be a dumpster fire for the foreseeable future for all the right reasons. But what teams had bigger mishaps? Again, you're saying Purdue, right?
Texas. But the Big Ten, Purdue, Ohio State, and Illinois and Iowa.
Right.
Iowa's got to get past Oregon in that spot.
Here's another one, says Coach Breslin. Shaka Smart to Marquette. I think the pressure was too much and he wanted out, and they wanted him out.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
100% agree with that. And you know what? Pressure's going to hit him in Marquette too, because the Big Ten is going to get better in the next couple of years.
Oh, yeah.
And that's going to put the pressure on him to win. Never a fan of him. Never was a fan.
Never won I think he never, at Texas, he never won an NCAA tournament game. I think he was 0 for 7.
Wow. That'll do it.
Yeah. Especially when
I got one more question for you guys. College basketball in the audience. Of these blue blood schools, who has a better chance at a bounce back season next year? North Carolina, Duke, Kentucky, Louisville, Michigan State. Kurt.
I'll still go with Kentucky because I think Calipari is the king of recruiting. He'll bring kids in. And I think the SEC is not as good as the Big Ten. So I do want to say Michigan State. But, I mean, really, what is Kentucky? Alabama's Alabama. I mean, what else is really in the SEC that, Arkansas? I think they can be right back on top of the SEC next year, Kentucky.
Okay, sis?
Coach K with Duke. We'll be back.
I agree with both of you guys. I think if I had to choose one, I'll go with Kurt with Kentucky. I just think that I do think both of them will bounce back, but I think Kentucky definitely had I'd be more surprised if Kentucky had another bad season next year as opposed to Duke. Who do you think out of these 5 on the opposite end continues to struggle? Okay, Kurt.
North Carolina, because I agree with Sis. I think Duke is going to be Duke again. I think Virginia can have a down year because Virginia lost a lot of their offense. I don't know. You know what? Roy's trending down. And bad loss. I mean, he got blown out by Wisconsin. I'm going to say North Carolina out of that group, the one that's going to stay down.
How about you, sis?
I agree, Mr. Valenti. North Carolina, they're going to be on a downswing.
I agree with you guys, and hopefully Carson's not listening. If I had to pick somebody else, Michigan State, because of the competitiveness at the top. At the top, you still got Illinois, you still got Ohio State, you still got Wisconsin, you still got all these teams that Michigan State's got to get ahead, and I think that might be a little hard for them. But I think North Carolina, I think Roy Williams is going to be on the hot seat soon. He's had a couple bad years, and not a very good showing in the tournament at all. That team got blown out by Wisconsin, who was struggling going in as well. So if I had to pick, I would say North Carolina. Michigan State would be a second choice.
Okay.
Unfortunately. You guys want to get into some football?
Sure.
Yep.
Well, real quick, are we making we're all making our predictions. We're gonna pick the games tomorrow, correct? We'll really pick the games.
Yeah. So
tomorrow.
we said, well, we could do for the people listening tonight. I said Gonzaga, Houston. I'm on the Gonzaga bandwagon. I'm going Gonzaga.
Okay. Me and Sis both have Gonzaga Baylor with Gonzaga.
Right. So that was the first interactive question.
Okay.
But my next question we're going to be switching gears to football, gentlemen. And last week we had a trade with the 49ers, the Dolphins, and the Eagles all swapping draft picks. 49ers moved up to number 3. Dolphins moved down to number 6. And the Eagles moved down to number 12. So my question to you and to the audience, and we'll start this debate. What will each of these teams do now with their picks, and who will they take? And we'll start right at the top. We'll start with the 49ers. And I'll start with Kurt on the 49ers. Who do you think the 49ers are going to take at number 3 going into the draft?
I just going to say the words Coach Breslin just messaged. He said 49ers are going to pick a quarterback now that they have moved up. I agree. If you move up to number 3, especially from 12, if you're going to invest 3 first-round picks, you're taking a quarterback. You're not going to – there's no way in the world you're taking another position for 3 first-round draft picks. So I think personally, I don't see Justin Fields or Trey Lance – in that West Coast offense. I really think it's going to be Sis's boy, and I know people are going to scratch their heads, but Shanahan loves the little bootlegs and the play action and the accuracy, and that's Mac Jones. So I think he's going to go Mac Jones, and Coach Breslin just messaged Mac Jones is going to be my guest, and I totally agree.
You agree, Sis?
Well, I had him going to Washington, but now with this move by the 49ers, Kurt just brought up a great point. Absolutely. I mean, you're not moving up to number 12 to take an outside linebacker. So yeah, they're gonna, and again, not because I'm an Alabama fan, which everybody knows, they're gonna take Mr. Jones for sure. Yep.
I was going to agree with the Mac Jones, but I'll give the Trey Lance argument of it. A guy that's trending up. I know Mac Jones fits Shanahan's offense, and I know you say take your guy if he's there. But that's the key word. If he's there when you pick, you take your guy. Mac Jones, did they really have to move up to number 3 to get Mac Jones? They probably could have traded with the Bengals or Detroit and got Mac Jones at 5 or 7.
But why?
Well,
or even the Eagles at 6.
They moved up to lock it in, Kenny.
Right. Why gamble, Sis? Right? Why gamble?
Yeah.
Why gamble?
Yeah.
Quarterbacks are funny.
I think Trey Lance is trending up. I could see him in San Francisco. If you know what I'm saying, I know how the quarterbacks trend, like you guys just said. But Mac Jones, just last week they were saying Patriots, Mac Jones at 15. Now all of a sudden he's number 3.
Well, here's what I'm gonna say. Okay, and I got to read a comment back from Henry in a second. But here's what I'm gonna say. Who does Kyle Shanahan absolutely love? What quarterback? We've talked about this on the show. He actually
style quarterback. So Mac Jones.
No. He's an NFL quarterback. They asked him about him. He's on another team, and they asked him in a press conference the other day about this, and he said, "I would love to have him as my quarterback." It's a quarterback we mock him a little bit.
Kirk Cousins.
Is it Mac Jones almost Kirk Cousins?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he's probably a better version of Kirk Cousins. So
now let me play devil's advocate now. The Jets could do the Jets mess things up any chance that they take Justin Fields or Trey Lance. He ran a 4.40. Lamar, they're comparing him already to Lamar Jackson. You're a GM and you love Lamar Jackson. Just say, Kurt, you're a Jets GM and you love Lamar Jackson. And they're comparing him to Lamar Jackson. Is there a chance you take Justin Fields?
Yeah, there is. Yeah. I
mean,
mean,
that's what the 49ers are hoping. And maybe Zach Wilson's sitting there at number 3 and they take Zach Wilson.
Yeah. It's very possible. Very Says, who would you take at number 2? If you could, if Trevor Lawrence is off the board, but right now you have Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Mac Jones, and Justin Fields. In all honesty, Sis, who, if you were the Jets, because Sis, I think you said Justin Fields all along for the Jets. Who would you take?
That's one of my rapid fire questions later on, but they were very impressed with him at his pro day yesterday. So I still, and I'll stick to my guns, I still think he's going to the Jets.
That throws a wrench to everything, Kenny, like
exactly.
you're saying.
Yes.
I do believe there will be
big monkey wrench. Yep.
And my bold prediction going into the draft is there will be a monkey wrench
there always is.
Between 2 and 4, there's going to be a monkey wrench.
There always is.
Kenny, real quick, in this segment, Henry's saying, my Broncos, I'm assuming Denver could stay at number 9 or trade up or down for a quarterback or another position. You want to hit that real quick?
Go ahead. You take it.
I will take it. You know, listen, their 3 needs, Denver's 3 needs are quarterback, inside linebacker, maybe right tackle. Again, I love Parsons. Parsons is the guy that you could put him on the field. Denver has not had a linebacker who can run in years. Runner cover these tight ends. You saw what the tight ends covering did to Kansas City in the Super Bowl with David and Devin White. So Parsons, they're saying, is a phenomenal athlete. So here's the thing. Does Peyton love a quarterback? You know, Henry's asking about going up. How high am I going to go up? Can they go to 5 if they really love? Here's the thing. If you really love Justin Fields or Trey Lance and they're sitting there at the Atlanta pick, you know, if you love them, go get them. You know, I'm not a believer in the whole, well, whoever's there at 9, take them. Like, I don't believe in that. Like, if I really love Trey Lance and he's there, go, like Sis says, go get your guy. But I don't believe in the, well, all right, I love them all. So if Mac Jones is still there, if Mac Jones is gone, all right, I'm taking Fields. Oh, he's gone? Who's the next guy? Take him. I don't believe that because you can't have 5 guys rated the same way as a quarterback. You know, Sis? How can you do that? You can't.
No, you can't.
You can't. You got to say, this is my guy. I want, like Sis is saying, if I want him, I want Mac Jones, I'm taking him at 3. I don't want to play games with, well, he's going to be there at 6 because then you get cute and somebody jumps to 5 and takes him, and then what did? You wasted a pick to go to 12 to 6, and now I got to settle for Trey Lance? Yep. Why? Yep. That's not who I wanted. Go get your guy. Go to 3. No BS. Go get him.
Right.
Let me ask you guys a question when you're done with the Bronco thing, Kurt.
Okay, but that's it. So I'm going to say Parsons, if they really love a quarterback, you know, me personally, I don't want Fields. I mean, you know, I understand what people say when they look and say, if you could get Justin Fields, like Sis is saying, Justin Fields is going to go number 2, right? And there's a lot of people who are still saying that he's the second best quarterback in this class. You do have people who are saying that. So if he's there at 9, is it value? Yes, it is value. You need a quarterback position. But me personally, if they take him at 9, Kenny, is he going to start this year? Is he going to start? So give me Parsons. I'm going to put him on that defense. I should have a top 3 defense in football. And I really want to see Drew Lock one more year. If it doesn't work, I still have my defense for next year. And I can go free agency. I could go trade. I could go draft pick next year. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to, you know. So if I'm Henry, if it's me, I'm sticking my guns. I'm taking that middle linebacker. That's what they need.
I think you should go defense as well. We're going to get into a little Bronco Mania in about 15 minutes.
Okay.
And, but here's my thing that I just thought of. I didn't think of this now. Quarterback, head coach for the 49ers is who? Robert Saleh?
For the Jets?
Yeah.
Saleh.
Yep.
Salah, however you say it.
Saleh. We'll say Robert Saleh. Where did he coach before the Jets?
San Fran.
Let's just play scenario here. You and I are friends, Kurt. Let's say you were a head coach of the Broncos and I was a head coach of the Giants.
Right.
We talk all the time, right?
Yep.
Off the record, Kurt, who you guys at number 2? You know, who do you guys really like at quarterback?
Right.
You know, between off the record, we really like Justin Fields. We're definitely taking Justin Fields. Zach Wilson just clicked on my head. Zach Wilson is going to be a 49er.
Okay.
Justin Fields is going to be a Jet. Think about it. Here's the other reason why. Sam Darnold, Zach Wilson is closer to Sam Darnold than Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson. I would compare them two closer than Sam Darnold and Justin Fields. Justin Fields is a way different quarterback than Sam Darnold. In Zach Wilson, you're getting a lot of Sam Darnold.
Okay, but let me play devil's advocate now. Who was the quarterback when Kyle Shanahan was the offensive coordinator in Washington, guys? Who was the head coach? In 2003.
Who was the head coach? Was his dad.
His father, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they had the running quarterback, right? They had RG3. So in that system, but what happened? He got hurt, right? He did, but RG3 looked like RG3 with Shanahan. The problem is, can they last in that system with the running? So, I mean, that's what you're going to have in Justin Fields. That's what you're going to have in Trey
I think
Lance.
the Jets are going to take Justin Fields, and the Niners are going to get Zach Wilson.
All right.
I'm going to make that bold prediction.
Coach Breslin saying, I think if
I just don't see them moving up, trading 3 draft picks and not taking anything away from Mac Jones.
I agree, but I agree though with
I think your franchise quarterback was Trevor Lawrence by far, and then all along we said the best quarterback besides Trevor Lawrence, in our opinions, was Zach Wilson, and this is all of us. We thought Zach Wilson was the second best quarterback. So we're not the professionals, but we're putting our opinion in there. There's got to be some realistic to that too. Mac Jones was number 4 and number 5 on our list.
See, this is what
Are you going to move up? Are you going to move up and trade 3 draft picks for Mac Jones? I don't think so.
But why? But see, here's the thing. This is where this bothers me so much. Where this whole I reached and but you can't take them there. Why? Sis, explain to me. Well, like, why? You look at the NBA, right? Nobody had Donovan Mitchell when he came out for Utah. Nobody had him as a top 3 pick, right? Utah took him, I think, 12. Oh, but you can't take Donovan Mitchell at 4. Why? He's the third or second best person in that class. I don't get it. Like, if Mac Jones is number 2 on my board, why can't I go to number 2 to take him? Sis, why?
Well, again, every team has a long list and a short list to start out with, okay? And again, this is me talking my opinion. If you're moving up that high in a draft, you're going for a quarterback.
Right.
I'd be shocked if San Francisco doesn't take a quarterback.
But here's my point. Say you two guys, you and Kenny are like these draft analysts and experts, right?
Right.
Okay. So you're telling me Mac Jones is the 5th best quarterback. Kenny's telling me Mac Jones is the 5th best quarterback. But in my evaluation, Mac Jones is the 2nd best quarterback. Why do I care what the hell you two think?
Exactly.
If I like Mac Jones, I'm going to get him.
I agree, but I'm saying, in my opinion, I don't think he's number 2 on their list. I think Zach Wilson is.
Oh, no. I'm just saying because you said for San Fran, why did you have to trade to 6? You said you shouldn't have went to 3. I disagree. Go up until so now you run the draft. You decide. I don't have to sit there on draft night saying, please, nobody go up and get Mac Jones. Please, nobody make the trade.
Right.
I decide now if I got
You're
Mac
already
Jones.
there. Yeah.
I'm there.
You're already there. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I still don't think it's Mac Jones. I think you may see the Jets shake things up right at number 2 and take Justin Fields.
Kenny, didn't you guys do that with the Giants? Nobody picked Daniel Jones that high.
Nobody picked Daniel Jones. No, I agree with that.
But he went up and got his guy.
I agree with that.
Get him.
I agree with that, but I don't know if Mac Jones is their guy, is my argument.
Okay.
That's my argument.
But whoever their guy is, they're going to get him. They're
Right.
going to
taking
get
a
their
quarterback
guy.
100%.
They're going to get their guy, and I think that's what matters. There's no more wishy-washy. I got to hope Denver don't trade up. I got to hope Carolina doesn't trade up. They don't matter anymore. Now it's on me. I make that pick.
They might
Right.
have a 1 and 1A where if the Jets take one of their guys, they got the backup. So if Zach Wilson goes
Right,
to the
but-
Jets,
but it's
Mac
your
Jones
top
might
three.
be their guy, or vice versa. If the Jets were to take Justin Fields, Zach Wilson may be their guy. So they got a 1 and 1A probably.
Kenny, it's called a short list and a long list.
That's
what
it.
it's called.
Yep. Well, let's move on to the number 6 pick, fellas, the Dolphins. They traded down 3 spots. Smart move. Get more picks. At number 6, Sis, who do you think the Dolphins are going to take?
It's my biggest nightmare. My biggest nightmare. Devontae Smith. That's who I think they're going to take.
I'll take it next, Kurt. I agree with Sis. And if I was a head coach, if I was a GM, and I got a young quarterback, why wouldn't I want to get one of the wide receivers that played with him to catch balls from him and loosen him up a little bit, as opposed to Jamar Chase, who everybody's saying the Dolphins are going to take, who played on a rival team. That's just me. You got a young quarterback who's in the news a lot. Is he an NFL quarterback? Is he going to be a bust? Go get somebody that he's used to throwing the ball to, whether it was in practice or it wasn't in games, because Devontae was there, but Devontae was in school when Tua was quarterbacking. Go out and get the Alabama kid.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just my opinion. So I agree with Sis on Devontae Smith over Jamar Chase or anybody else.
I have to tell you what, I hope I'm dead wrong. I hope they look the other way. I really do. Somebody made the statement the other night on the show last week, whatever it was. He's too small. He's get going. The kid's a baller, man. If you don't think this kid is top,
that might have been me. That might have been me. Because
no, it wasn't you. It was your friend.
I heard that because I heard that they were saying is the scouts are liking Waddle better than Devontae Smith, because they're comparing Waddle to Tyreek
because
Hill.
of his physicalness. I get all of that.
So,
but Devontae Smith, in my opinion, and again, not because I'm a big Alabama fan, wherever he goes, he'll be all pro. Mark what I'm telling you. He's that good, man.
I know.
He's sick. He does stuff on a football field, and I mean, we both coached. I've never seen a kid like that in college football. Never. Sorry, that's me.
That's
great
good.
point.
That's something there, I'll tell you. Yeah, Miami.
It's amazing.
Miami would be better with him. Detroit, he's gonna be going to Miami, Detroit, maybe the Giants. That'd be a dream come true. But
hell yeah, it would be a dream come true.
We'll see what happens. It's another one. Kurt, who do you think they're going to take?
I agree. You know what? They're going to take their number 1 wide receiver on the board, and I agree with what Sis is saying. Like, you're right. Give them Devontae Smith or Waddle. I agree with Sis. Like, and I'm going to be honest. Not that I don't like the bigger receiver, but I like these little shiftier. I like these little guys. Like, that's why I love KJ Hamler on Denver. So. Devontae Smith is better than KJ Hamler, obviously, but they're in that same role. So could he play, like he does, he's going to help Miami a little more. And like you're saying, it's one of his guys, Waddle's going to be, that's going to be way too high to pick Waddle, number 6, I believe. So I think it'll be between Chase and Devontae Smith. I would go with you. I think Devontae Smith is better than Chase, Plus, now you're giving, like you said, Kenny, you're giving him his guy. But I think it's all a smokescreen, too, of they're going to take a linebacker. They're going to take a receiver for Tua. They're going to take a receiver.
Because all you've got right now is Devontae Parker, and he's always hurt. So you need a young guy for Tua to get that chemistry going with somebody. who, Tua is the veteran of now, not the rookie. Like Tua is younger than all the other receivers, all the other offensive guys on Miami. You got to get him an offensive weapon, so he's the guy throwing. He's not the rookie. He's not the baby of the group anymore.
Well, the great thing for you guys, like Kenny, Sis is saying he wants Devontae Smith, and what's nice is, so you guys want this run of quarterbacks. You want Mac Jones to go. You want Lance, because that's 5 now. What did Giants take? 11.
11.
Okay, so 11. I think you're gonna get. So you're going to have 5. Those 5 are going to go before you, which is perfect. You're going to have the 2 defensive corners, Farley and Surtain probably going to go.
Surtain's going, yeah.
Surtain's going to go. So now that's, now you're into 7.
Right.
You're probably going to you're going to hold your breath for one receiver because I think Miami's going to take it. So, you want them to take Chase, and then Devontae might fall to you. We're getting a question from Henry saying, can we please get to some baseball talk? Because I'm worried on how the Rockies are going to handle their first season without Arenado. Plus, Burdage not fired yet when everyone wants him gone as a GM.
We're going to get into baseball, Henry, real short. You stick around, Henry. We're going to do a little Broncos stuff right now. Or let the Eagles, real quick, guys. Who did the Eagles pick at 12? I don't even want to get into them too much. I'm going to say Kyle Pitts drops to them, and they take the tight end. And they go with that 2 tight end set again with Goddard and Pitts.
I'll tell you this. I didn't see him today, but they said he looked chiseled and he was like ridiculous on his pro day. Pitts.
Is that who you would go with? I'm going to say Pitts or Waddle. How about you, sis?
Could care less who the Eagles take.
Me too.
It's got to be a skill guy, though.
No, the greatest thing is we pick one pick before them.
So exactly. They're 12.
Them the whole draft.
Yeah.
Or first round, anyway.
It's going to be a skill kid, though, Kenny. It's got to be a receiver or a tight end.
Yeah. Let's do a little quick Bronco thing, and then we'll get into the second hour where we're going to do some baseball in the second hour.
This is the Briggsy Bronco Mania segment.
Briggsy Bronco Mania. We touched on it a little bit with Henry's question with the quarterback. But I'm going to give you 3 scenarios, Kurt. And I want to know which scenario is your top choice, which scenario is your second, which scenario is your third?
Go ahead.
2021 quarterback situation for the Broncos. Scenario 1, stick with Drew Lock and a normal, like a Brett Rippon type or a Driscoll type as your backup.
Okay.
Option number 2, you make a trade for like a veteran quarterback like a Sam Darnold type.
Okay.
And you go with Drew Lock in a competition and win the job. Scenario 3, draft a quarterback. Drew Lock starts the season. Rookie quarterback waiting to come in the shadows. I want your top selection, your middle selection, and your bottom selection. And sis, you can do this as well.
I'm all ready to go when you're ready.
Personally, mine is going to be. I'm going to say Lock starter. I don't want Rippon or Driscoll. I want a vet as number 1. But if you're giving me these 3, I'm going to go Lock with Rippon and Driscoll, Darnold and Lock, draft pick. You know what? Lock, Rippon and Driscoll, draft pick and Lock, Darnold and Lock. Worry about it next year.
Okay. Sis?
Drew Lock is your starter. Donald is your backup. They're going to take Donald. I said that all along. They're definitely not going to draft a quarterback in the draft.
Out of these quarterbacks, Kurt, who do you want as your veteran backup if you had to pick one? Sam Darnold?
Yeah.
Not veteran backup, veteran to compete with Drew Lock.
Okay.
Sam Darnold, where it's going to cost you draft pick.
Yep.
Nick Foles, Alex Smith, who's free agent.
Foles, Alex Smith, Darnold.
I think I would go Alex Smith first as a mentor.
Okay. I'd be happy with either of those.
And he's been in the AFC West before Alex Smith, so I think I would go that route. What else you want to do, Kurt, with Bronco Mania? What else? Anything else?
That's it. I mean, again, they're
Let's answer Henry's question, and then we'll get into baseball in the second hour. But let's get into that question since we got a couple minutes. With
okay.
The Rocky.
The Rocky one?
Yeah.
Again, he just wants to talk about Rockies. He said he's nervous. Arenado is gone. I mean, their team is. Listen, they're projected to obviously finish way last in the NL West.
All right.
Over under 63.5.
Yeah. All right. We'll get into baseball. Let's do Sis's rapid fire first.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Henry, hold on for a second. We will get into baseball. We got a lot to talk about with baseball.
We got some good questions. As always, this segment is called Rapid Fire with Sis. We don't know what to expect.
No, I hope Coach Breslin's still with us because we have no idea what's coming tonight.
And it's definitely become the most popular segment of the K&K.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Siciliano, take it away.
Okay, everyone, including the audience, please chime in. First question of the evening. They're going to move the NFL to 17 games. Do you like that or not, Kurt?
Yes.
First. Yes or no?
Like it, yes.
Okay. Kenny?
I like it. I wish they would keep it more of a rivalry thing, meaning Giants, Jets, and et cetera, et cetera.
Very good.
Sis, hold on. Mark is saying, hello, man. Good evening.
Hello, Mark.
Hey,
hello, Mark. Thank you for joining us.
Kurt, we'll go to you again. Second question, rather. Did Michigan State choke against UCLA? Sorry.
Yes.
Did Michigan choke against UCLA?
Yes.
Kenny? Yes or no, Kenny?
I'll agree with Kurt. Yes.
Hold on. Sis, Zoli, our great friend Zoli, big-time Bronco fan, is saying, I like it as well, the 17-game season, especially since the Broncos add the Lions. So, Carson, me and Carson, week 17, baby.
Road trip.
That's in Denver.
Road trip.
Okay. Number 4, we'll go to Kenny first. We already talked about it, but anyway, does Sam Darnold go to the Broncos? Yes or no?
Go to the Broncos? I'm going to say no.
Okay. Kurt?
No.
Okay. Next question. We'll start with Kurt first. Roger Goodell said that he's anticipating, you ready? Packed stadiums come this fall. Yes or no?
No.
Kenny?
Not yet. No.
Okay. We'll go to Kenny first on the next question. The second overall pick in this year's draft after Trevor Lawrence gets selected number 1.
Justin Fields.
Okay. Fair enough. Kurt?
Zach Wilson.
Okay. Number 7, we'll go to Kurt. The last lie you told somebody. Me. It was me. About crumb cake.
Oh, yeah. I had crumb cake today, so I might be crumb cake. There you go.
Oh, my God. On a Wednesday?
I did have it today.
Woo!
I stopped in ShopRite and got it. So, yeah, I got to say that.
That a boy. I'll give you a pass. Kenny, last lie you told somebody at work. No, whenever.
What was the thing? What was the question?
The last lie you told somebody.
That
Beyond.
ready, Kurt? You ready, Kurt?
Yeah.
That rapid fire is the most popular segment on campus.
Wow.
Right back at you, sis. I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you, sis.
Wednesday night, I'm doing this.
Chris, I'm messing with you.
Okay, I know you are.
That was good, Kenny.
That was good. We'll go to Kurt first. Excuse me. What sport is called the king of sports? What sport is called the king of sports?
Boxing?
Close. Kenny?
That would have been my guess.
You'll
Wrestling?
never get. No,
Wrestling?
it's soccer.
Oh, that was my second choice.
Yeah,
I swear to God, that was my second choice.
I thought you were going to get that one, Kurt. I really did.
Ah,
Kenny, you can choose one dinner guest. Who would it be?
You, Mr. Siciliano.
Oh, that's a very nice compliment. Kurt,
I can't say Jen because she would be coming.
you better say me because I love eating over your house.
Oh, sure. Then you, Mr. Sis, of course.
No, I'm teasing. No, who would be like an athlete or?
Oh,
Yeah.
John Elway.
Yeah, I figured
John
you were going to
Elway.
say that. Okay.
All right, mine would be I was always Paul O'Neill guy, so Paul O'Neill I would think.
Yeah, that's a good choice. Okay. Kenny, we'll go to you next. When a bowler makes 3 strikes in a row, what is it called?
When a batter bunts.
No. When a bowler makes 3 strikes in a row.
Gobble gobble turkey.
Wow, great. How did you know that?
I know a little about it. I follow up on my trivia.
That's that. I'll tell you what, if either one of you get this, when Kenny comes out to Jersey, Sizzling Steakhouse Steve's is on me. We'll go with Kenny first. Ready, Ken?
Go for it.
How many dimples there are on a golf ball?
Can I go count? It'll take me 3 hours. I gotta go.
It probably will because it's pretty high. That's the only hint I'll give you.
64.
How many?
64.
Kurt?
I'm going to say 260.
You're close.
What was it?
336. I'm going to go to Kurt with this one first. This is a good one. Tiger Woods won his first major with 12 strokes in his first ever major. What was the major? That should be easy.
The Masters.
He won it by 12 strokes.
The Masters.
You got it, buddy. Good one. Okay, we'll go to Mr. Kirkpatrick. There's no way either one of you should miss this. This is a joke, but anyway. Every Memorial Day, Kenny, what sporting event is held? I'll be shocked if you don't get this, Kenny.
Every Memorial Day.
What big sporting event is held?
I'm blanking, Kurt. I'm blanking. Take it away.
Wow. All right, we'll give you a second, Kurt.
He's blanking too.
I'm not blanking because it could be a couple different things. I'm trying to think of how he's asked me. There's every Memorial Day.
Every Memorial Day every year.
That's a Monday.
Right. Biggest sporting event held.
I mean, there's Major League Baseball games.
No, is that your guess?
That's my guess.
Kenny?
Oh gosh. Drawing a blank here. It's a Monday.
You're going to be shocked when I give you the answer, but go ahead.
Monday. I don't know, sis. Boston Marathon.
The what?
I said the New York Marathon or Boston Marathon.
No, that's in the fall. The Indy 500.
I did not know that.
I can't believe either one of you guys didn't get that. We're going to go to Kurt with this one. There's no way in the world. He doesn't even know how to play this game. What number set to the right of a standard dartboard comes next?
Wait. Henry said Boulder, or Indy 500, whatever works. Say that again, sis. On a dartboard.
Correct. To the right of a standard dartboard. What's the next number after 20?
7.
You're not thinking. You
I
think
have
about
no
what I'm
idea. I
saying.
have no idea.
All right, Kenny.
1.
Very good. There you go. Very good, Ken. Kenny's a big shuffleboard guy. Remember, we played a couple of times. All right, Kurt. Scottie Pippen has a tattoo on his forearm. What does it say?
Pip 33.
Very good, man.
No,
Very
no,
good.
it's not, is it?
Yeah, it is.
What?
Yeah. Kenny,
Pure guess.
this will be 2 steak dinners at Steve's, Kenny. Only Kenny, if you get this. The first president to throw out a ceremonial pitch at a Major League Baseball game. The very first president that did that.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Kurt,
Ford.
William Taft. Next. Longest we excuse me. The longest time it took to get the final point in a tennis match.
Oh.
Minutes, hours, or days. I'll make it easy for you. How many minutes
Who's first?
to get the final point? Either one of you.
I'm
Don't
gonna
matter.
throw out a number. I'm gonna throw out 43.
I'm
Okay.
going to go a little lower, 36.
29.
It's a long time. It's a long, long time.
I'm going to go to Kenny with this because I think he's going to get this because he's good with this stuff. The only NFL team neither to host or ever to play in a Super Bowl. They never hosted it and they never played in it.
The only team?
Yeah, they never played in it and they never hosted it.
Well, there's more than one.
No.
Never hosted it. Never hosted it.
Right. Never played in it and never hosted it.
Cleveland Browns.
I knew you were going to get it. I
Good
said
call, Kenny. Good call.
it. Yes, he's good with that. I said he was
Good
going to
question.
get
I
it.
like that question. I like that.
Kurt, this is right up your alley. The first openly gay player ever drafted in the NFL. That's easy.
I know a
Think.
team. I can't think of his name.
Wasn't he on Dallas?
Yes, but
I
that's
thought he
not
got
the
drafted by the Rams.
He was on Dallas too, though. But I'm not looking for the team. I'm looking for the guy's name.
Oh.
I know the college he went to.
Missouri, right?
Yeah.
I'm not. You guys are. You
I
guys
don't
are
know.
making up
He
your
was
own.
a defensive end. I don't remember his
You
name.
guys
I
are
don't remember his
making up
name.
your
I'm
own
trying to-
rules here.
Give me initials, sis.
MS.
Sim? Michael Sams?
Yep.
You got it.
Yep.
You got it.
Good question.
He was on Dallas, though, right?
Yes, he was.
Yeah. I remember him going to Dallas. That was a good question, though.
Okay. We'll go to Kurt. What team recorded the most points in a single Super Bowl game? In a single Super Bowl game. What team?
It's got to be the Niners. 55?
You got it, kid.
Yeah.
Yep.
Against my Broncos.
Yep. I remember that game.
55-10.
Yep. That was like the Bears in New England.
46-10.
Yes, sir. Last question of the night for rapid fire. Kenny, we'll go to you. Which NBA team won the first ever NBA game? I'll give you the year, Kenny, 1943.
I'm going to say the city was Milwaukee. I don't know. The team would be the Lakers. Well, were they the Lakers back?
No, but you're close because it's sitting right on top of your head.
I'm going to
Kurt,
say the Metropolitans.
It's sitting right on top of Kenny's head.
The Knicks.
The Knicks.
Ah, how do we not know that?
That
Just
concludes.
throwing these curveballs at us, man.
That
was good,
concludes.
sis.
That concludes your rapid fire for Wednesday, March 31st.
Much applause as always, Mr. Sis. Much
Great
applause.
segment,
you.
sis.
Thank you. Thank you.
Much applause. All right, boys. I think it's time for Major League Baseball. Opening day starts tomorrow. Henry's been waiting.
Yes, sir. Right out of the gate, the Yankees.
Henry's been starting with this. Henry's a Rockies fan. We'll start. You would overall thoughts on the Rockies rebuild?
Yeah.
I think it'd be best, Henry, unfortunately, if they even tried to trade while they could Trevor Story and Charlie Blackmon and do a complete rebuild over there. You got the Dodgers and Padres, who are the kings right now. And only way to get to them is, I think, rebuilding through the farm systems. So have the 5-year plan. Unfortunately, I've never been in that situation being a Yankee fan, but if I was in that situation, I think that's what I would want my team to do, knowing I got to look up to the Dodgers and Padres every year. I want to be ahead of the Giants and Diamondbacks. So then I'm at least third in the division and I could work my way towards the top. So I think while you can get something for them, I think by trade deadline, you look to get rid of Story and you look to get rid of Blackmon if you're out of contention. And if they don't have I don't know their contracts, if there are no trade clauses or what like that, but I would try and deal them if they are out of contention by the All-Star break. You guys want to add anything to the Rockies?
I'll add something. It's crazy because you're talking 3 years ago. I think I want to say they beat Milwaukee in a wild card game, or they actually got to the NLCS. And 2 years ago, they were like a lot of people's picks to get to a World Series, and just look at how it just flipped like that, Kenny. And, you go from a World Series trendy pick to having an over-under of 63.5, which is it's almost 100-loss season. And like you said, the GM's taking a lot of heat. You got rid of Arenado. You basically did it as a salary dump. You didn't get much. And it's got to hurt Rocky fans. You're in a division where 1 and 2 are monsters. And it could be a problem going forward. So it's going to be a long year. And you know what? You better hope for the Broncos to have a good year, because it's going to be football season very soon in Colorado. Very soon.
Yep. Anything, Sis, or you on board with Rockies rebuild?
I'm on board with the Yankees. I could care about any other team.
All right, well, let's get into the Yankees outlook for this year. Let's start with the Yankees, Sis. Made some moves. They re-signed DJ LeMahieu. Got some pitching, you could say pitching depth. Kluber, veteran Kluber behind Cole. A young pitcher, Jameson Talon. They re-signed everybody else. What are your overall thoughts on the Yankees? Do you like what you see?
Well, again, right out the gate tomorrow, I'm hoping we're not going to see LeMahieu lead off with a double, Judge strike out or pop out, Stanton go down looking. Again, he's not going to move that lineup around. Maybe one, position every other game or whatever, but you're going to get your standard Yankees, and we're gonna see in the first month, how they're rolling. I mean, they got great pitching. They should win tomorrow with Cole on the mound. So, I'm looking forward to watching it.
Okay. Do you think? Let me ask you a couple of guys. Do they bounce back this year? Do you think Stanton finally has a decent season with the Yankees injury?
Boy, let's hope so, man. I mean, they're paying him a boatload of money, and even Judge. I mean, and Kurt always says this, and I agree with him. Like, Judge is never in a position when it really matters to come up with a big hit. He'll hit a homer when they're winning 6-0. Like, it's meaningless then. But when there's a guy on second and it's 2-2 and it's a 7th inning, it's a different story. And again, I don't know if you can't say it's the pressure of New York. He's been there long enough. You know what I'm saying? If that answers your question,
It
I
does.
don't
It
know.
does. And I think,
Yeah.
and Stanton and Judge, I think they're both the similar type of players. So why bat one in the 2-hole and then the other one bats cleanup? They should be back.
Yeah,
to back
me and you have been
the
saying
power
that
spot.
forever. Yeah,
They
exactly.
should be 4 and 5 in the lineup.
No doubt. Or move one. Yeah, move one. If you're going to leave Judge at 2, move Stanton to 4 or 5. Not it's too much back to back. But again, me and you've been talking about that forever. So.
Kurt, and how about Gary Sanchez, Kurt? What are your thoughts on him?
Well, when you say bounce back, I mean, he's got to be better than 147. No.
Yeah,
so,
I don't want to bounce back batting 200. I want at least a 250 average. That's me. That's me. You're not gonna. I didn't want. I'm done with Gary Sanchez. 210 ain't cutting it. 210 ain't cutting it when you're sitting with one knee on the ground, catching, being lazy. You're a defensive catcher. That's one thing. I'm sorry, I'm taking it from you with Gary Sanchez. Getting my own question.
Again, I am. I can't see much from him again because he's basically the same thing Sis is saying. It's going to be the strikeout king. I'd be shocked if he does anything a little over 200. So anything's going to be an improvement over 147. But I don't. I think he is who he is. He's going to hit home runs, but he's going to strike out a lot. And if he hits 200, I mean, he's a meaningless player in my opinion. So I'll say no.
Totally agree. He's not going to even bat two. I said that last week. He's not even going to bat 250.
I'm on board with that. Let's shift over. I know Sis don't want to talk about him too much. Let's shift over. Let Kurt take the Mets. What are your overall thoughts on the Mets?
I don't think you're going to get a true feeling of the Mets. I think the Mets are going to have to kind of early on just kind of survive. They have to get they got to get through the first. They got to get to where they get Syndergaard back. Because a DeGrom, Syndergaard, Stroman, now with the Carrasco pitching. I mean, we've always said this on the show for a year now. It's all about pitching in the postseason. And if I can put up, Stroman with DeGrom, Carrasco, and Syndergaard, and I'm healthy and I can go into a series, I can beat anybody in that series. I wouldn't fear anybody in that series. I'll go toe-to-toe with anybody in that series. Offensively, they got to get a little better. Listen, you're paying Lindor a lot of money. I know he's causing a little problems here and there already with the contract, but you paid for him. The difference is he's a number 2 batter. He's not going to strike out like Aaron Judge. He's going to hit in the 300s. He's going to come up with clutch hits. So I think they are better off. Hey, Nimmo, Lindor, Conforto, Alonso, Smith, McNeil, it's a nice little lineup. Their problem is the bullpen. Is Betances going to bounce back? Is Diaz going to be Diaz? Familia. That's going to be their issue because they're starting pitching. Listen, DeGrom, can't be winning 2-1 going into the 8th and you lose that game. You got to close that out. There's been too many of those games where DeGrom and Syndergaard and those guys are giving the bullpen a one-run lead late and they blow it. So, but I think, what, they're going to beat it. They're in a tough division, man. Atlanta, Philly, the Mets, even Miami. That's a good division. They're going to knock Washington. They're going to knock each other off. But I think the Mets will be a playoff team this year.
Okay. Let's do a little comparison of the Yankees and Mets, and let's see who, in our opinions, by our comparisons, should be able to see who we think is going to have the better season. Let's do the Yankees infield versus the Mets infield, guys. We got, we'll say the starting lineups. So Voigt's hurt for the Yankees. So we got Bruce, LeMahieu, Torres, Urshela, and you got Alonso, J.D. Davis, McNeil, and Lindor. So who would you rather have, Sis, if you went into tomorrow's games? What infield would you rather have?
I'm going to say the Yankees.
Okay. Kurt?
I mean, it's tough, you know. I mean, I'd rather have Alonso than anything the Yankees first baseman. Lindor, LeMahieu, I mean, that's tough. I mean, as good as LeMahieu is, I mean, Lindor is one of the best players in baseball, you know. I'm going to give you Torres and Urshela. I don't know. Like, that's a 50. I guess I would have to say Yankees because, you know, it's probably like a draw, Lindor or LeMahieu.
Yep, I agree.
So, you know, I would have to say a little probably by the Yankees, but I mean, when you really look at it, really, would you right now, if you're a Yankee fan, Kenny, you too, Sis, would you rather have Francisco Lindor or DJ LeMahieu?
Yeah, exactly.
What would you rather do? What would you rather have, Kenny?
It's a no-brainer, really. Yeah.
For me, it's LeMahieu.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. Well, you asked me this a month ago, I might be saying Lindor, but if he's asking for 325, the Mets offered him 325, and that's not good enough for him. He's not a teammate. He's not a clubhouse guy.
No, that I'll agree with you.
There wasn't much negotiating. Wasn't causing much trouble. He's a clubhouse guy. I'd rather have LeMahieu for that reason.
Right.
That's just my opinion. But I'm going to surprise you as a whole on the infield. I'm going with the Mets right now because Voigt's hurt. Don't know what we're going to get from Jay Bruce. I asked this question next week. I might change my mind. But if I'm going in tomorrow, I don't know what to expect from Jay Bruce. It might be the left-handed version of Gary Sanchez. You know, getting up there, striking out or hitting a home run. You know, that's just going to be another out in the lineup. So I don't know yet. I got to see. So that reason, I'll take the Mets right now. Let's move to the outfield. We'll start with Kurt again. Judge, Stanton, Nix, Gardner, Frazier. And you got the Mets, Conforto, Nimmo, Dominic Smith. Who else? I'm missing a couple people on the Mets.
Pilar.
Yeah.
Listen, like again, I'm not going to count Stanton because Stanton's a DH, right? So.
All right, we'll leave Stanton out. Yeah, we'll leave Stanton out.
You're gonna think I'm crazy. Again, I'm not on this Judge bandwagon. You know, I don't want to see Clint for, you know, I want to be, you know, Aaron Hicks to me, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think Aaron Hicks starts on the Mets. I don't. He doesn't play over Nemo. He doesn't play over Conforto.
Totally agree.
So, you know what? I'm going to go with the Mets. I am. I'm going to take the Mets outfield over the Yankee outfield.
Okay, so you got Mets outfield and you got Yankees infield. Sis?
Going with Kurt. Mets outfield over the Yankees.
Funny, I'm going to go different than you guys again. I'm going to take the Yankees outfield here. Yeah, I know what you're saying about Judge. I honestly do. He's hurt a lot. But the guy can play defense when he's in there. He's made some good plays in that outfield. Judge can cover a lot of ground out there. Hicks, another one. Not very. I agree, Kurt. I don't know how many teams he would start on, but the guy can play defense.
Well, here's the difference, Kenny. The guy can play defense. Okay, I understand. But when you're a defensive player, you're strictly a defensive player. You're batting eighth. You're batting ninth. They're batting this guy third, a 225 batter.
Fair.
Like,
At best.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't.
All right, you know what? You sold me. You sold me your defense there. I'm going to take the Mets outfield. You sold me.
Okay.
Because Frazier's all offense, he's no defense. You sold me. And Gardner is going to be your bench guy, probably your best outfielder, and he's going to be on your bench.
Right.
So you sold me. Let's move to the Catchers. Let's do catchers. Do we even want to talk about that?
I don't want either one.
Me either.
We'll wash them out. Starting pitching.
Again, this is, to me,
That's a toughie. Yeah, that's tough.
This is easy for me. It really is. It's just, you can't tell me you're going to go Domingo Herman against Noah Syndergaard or Marcus Stroman. I can't buy it. I just, Corey Kluber, he's better than what you've had, but I'm going to go with the Mets on the starting pitching.
This?
Going with the Mets.
You mentioned two guys, though, Kurt. My argument would be, and you got to sell me, because right now I'm leaning towards the Yankees. The two guys you mentioned, Syndergaard and Stroman, were hurt last year. How do you know what you're going to get from them this year?
Well, again, I'm looking at it as...
Like, I'm looking at their pitching going into open. Their five right now is DeGrom, Carrasco, Syndergaard, Stroman, right? Number three?
Yeah.
Syndergaard's hurt. So who's their 4 and 5?
Walker.
Okay.
And David Peterson.
So that was the story.
Well, Carrasco's out until May too.
Yeah, you can't use Carrasco and Syndergaard. We're going into opening day. Who your 5 are?
Okay. Again,
I still might take the Mets. I honestly might.
All right, I would say it's a toss-up now, but come postseason, if everybody's healthy, I just don't think it's close.
Yeah,
I think the Mets
question's going to come back. This question's going to come back next week, and we might change your mind.
Right. Right now, it's close. I'm still going to take the Mets because I still think your better 1-2 punch is Stroman and DeGrom.
Yep. See, I like Cole, obviously. Kluber falls in the Stroman category. He was hurt. He needs a bounce-back year. And Jameson Talon promise there. So I got to see. So, again, it's almost a wash. I might, again, that's 50-50. That's a wash. So I think the easiest one for me, bullpen, I'd go Yankees.
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer, right?
I will say this, though, guys.
Bullpen, no. I agree.
See, I think...
Starting pitchers, I don't agree.
Yeah, I'm with Sis. I think the Mets bullpen, though, has, a chance. If you got, Lugo. Is Lugo injured?
I think he's hurt.
Well, yeah, he's hurt. Okay, but he's going to probably be more of a starter, I think, right? But you still got Diaz. They signed Trevor May. Familiar, Betances, Gesellman. It's not like they have no names. I mean, these guys got to deliver. That's like Edwin Diaz has to be Edwin Diaz, because if Diaz and Betances can come back, I understand what you're saying. If you're going to tell me with a gun to my head, do I trust them? No, I don't. But I don't think it's that bad to where, the Mets bullpen stinks. I'm obviously the Yankees bullpen's a lot better, but you got to see with this bullpen. But I'm going to say this. If I'm the Mets GM, if I'm Cohen or the GM and all this, and this game, it starts happening in April and May where you're blowing leads, just do it right now. I don't care what you got to trade. You got to get bullpen. You can't let these guys go. You cannot be losing games early in the year 2-1, 3-2, 4-3, blowing leads. You can't do it because you've done it for the past 3 years, and it's killed you.
Fair enough.
See, the other thing is, it's not like the olden days. These guys pitch 5-6 innings. That's it.
Right.
Nobody's going to distance anymore. I don't mean 9 innings, but I mean, 5 innings and you're getting yanked. Come on, you're making millions of dollars.
Now let me.
I hate when Boone does that too. Guys going good, 5-6 innings, he yanks them. With his.
It looks like, in my opinion, looking at all our predictions, it looks like we like the Mets team a little bit better than the Yankees team right now. But I will say one thing. The Yankees have 10 times an easier division.
Oh, yes.
No doubt.
So It's going to be tough. Like this may change each week. Like I'll ask this question each week. Like,
All right, well, wait. Let's get right out of the gate because our friend Eddie Murphy, agree or disagree with this statement, sis? You ready? Eddie Murphy is saying Yankees 2021 World Series champs. Take my money, FanDuel. LOL. Agree or disagree?
FanDuel will be taking his money.
Kenny?
Eddie, I'm a Yankee fan, and I like to bleed blue and white. I like to bleed the pinstripes, the white and blue. I don't like this team. Like, the chemistry's not there. They haven't won anything. There's nobody on that Yankee team that's won a World Series. And to me, that's a lot. You know
what the problem, Kenny, and we're both diehard Yankee fans? There's no leadership on that team.
None.
Who's the leader? The only leader, in my opinion, as a Yankee fan.
There's nobody on that team that's a leader.
No, you're wrong.
Gardner?
You got it.
Right. I agree, sis.
You got it, Ken. That guy, he's a leader. And it's my opinion.
No, that's fair.
Kid,
I always was a Gardner fan. I always liked him.
He's blood and guts, and
This would be my answer to Eddie Murphy saying that he wants to take his money to FanDuel. And Coach Breslin is saying, no way. I think the Dodgers are still a team to beat. And here's why you can't put your money on the Yankees to FanDuel. I'm just going to read something out to you. Mookie Betts, Seager, Turner, Bellinger, Smith, Muncy, Pollock, Lux.
It's a murder lineup.
You ready for this? Clayton Kershaw, Trevor Bauer, Bueller, Julio, Urias, Dustin May. They basically pushed David Price to the bullpen.
Yeah. Think about that.
Coach Breslin saying I like Gardner too. He's the leader of that team. Eddie Murphy saying I'm not a fan of this team either, but I believe in my team.
You got to believe in them to a point, Ed. I agree. Like I'm going to root for them every day, and I hope I'm wrong. And I know Sis 1,000,000% hopes he's wrong about the Yankees.
Exactly, I do.
We're just being realistic.
We're being realistic, yeah.
On what we've seen past 5 years from this team.
Right.
It's the same team. It's a team that's not done anything, and it's the same team again. All right, so that'll segue right into my first question, guys. I'll start with Sis. Give me your top 5 teams in Major League Baseball, Sis, going into tomorrow. Like, if you had to pick 5 teams, who are your top 5 teams on paper?
Dodgers, Braves, Astros, White Sox, Philadelphia Phillies.
That's different. Top 2 didn't surprise me. You had some surprises, 3 to 5. I like that. Kurt, you want me to go or you want to take it?
You go.
I got the Dodgers and Braves at the top. I got the Padres. I'm going to throw the Yankees in there because of a weak American League at number 4. And 5 is going to be the St. Louis Cardinals. Kurt?
I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to go almost your teams. I'm going to go Dodgers, Braves. I'm going to switch my line. I'm going to go Dodgers, Braves. I'm going to go Cardinals. I'm going to throw the Padres out. Dodgers, Braves, Cardinals. Yankees, Mets.
I like it.
Eddie Murphy's going Dodgers, Padres, Yankees, Astros, White Sox.
I like it. I'm going to do this question each week. I got ours written down. And like we did with college basketball, our top 5. After a week of baseball, next Wednesday, we'll do our top 5 again, our top 5 teams, and see how much they stay alike or new teams come in and teams jump out of our top 5.
Okay.
We'll do this each week.
Cool.
How about a sleeper? Kurt, I'll jump to you. A sleeper in the American League and a sleeper in the National League.
My sleeper in the American League, it's a team that I'm not very high on, but I think this year, again, when I say sleeper, I wouldn't trust this team at all in the postseason.
Let me rephrase before you answer. I want a sleeper. Sleeper meaning they can make a wild, that they're going to be sneaking into the wild card.
Okay, Los Angeles Angels.
Okay. And you think Trout finally gets they get it going there?
Yeah, I think Trout with Otani. I know me and Sis were talking about him yesterday. They got a nice line. Rendon. Again,
Rendon.
regular season.
Pujols is still there, the old man.
Yeah, regular season though, because they will score runs. But when you get to the postseason, I wouldn't trust them. But they might spend a little money, go get some pitching, maybe get a Baumgartner in the playoff. Eddie Murphy saying the Blue Jays are his sleeper in the AL.
Okay. Let me go to Sis for American League, and then when I finish American League, we'll go to the National League.
Okay.
How about a sleeper, Sis? Who do you think's got a shot at a wild card in the American League?
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay, I like it because they lost a few guys. A sleeper guy there that nobody's talking about. Chris Archer had his best seasons with Tampa Bay, and they brought him back.
Yeah, and they brought him back. Yeah, he's a good pitcher. I always liked him.
I always wanted the Yankees to get him.
Yeah, me too.
It's going to be the Indians. They still got that ace at the top, Shane Bieber. Jimenez is hurt for the White Sox, so they might not.
Your sleepers, the Indians?
Yeah.
Okay.
Coach Breslin saying the A's or the Rays.
What was that?
Coach Breslin saying Oakland or Tampa Bay.
I like both of them. I'm going Cleveland because of the division. Royals and Tigers are going to be near the bottom. White Sox, everybody's on that White Sox train, but they lost a big key in Jimenez. Eloy Jimenez is out. Twins always have the power.
No pitching.
But no pitching. So, yeah, they lost Lindor and Carrasco, but they still got that ace at the top, Shane Bieber, in a weak division. I could see the Indians being a sleeper team. How about the National League? Let's go to Sis first on the National League.
Philly.
You know, you're high on Philly. I like
Yep.
That's Joe Girardi.
Yes.
Yep. Didi Gregorius.
I always liked him when he was with the Yankees. He's a good coach. Yep.
Kurt?
I know I'm going to steal your thunder, but again, when you could go Scherzer, Strasburg, and Patrick Corbin, listen, you're the champs 2 years ago. You still got Turner, Soto. You added Josh Bell, Schwarber, Sterling Castro, Harrison. You give me that pitching, man. It's all about pitching. Again, this team gets in the playoffs, Kenny. They're dangerous. Real quick, couple comments. Coach Breslin saying, yes, but the White Sox have La Russa, so that should make up for some wins. Great point. And we're getting a comment and a hello from Baltimore, Maryland, from a Rich Atwood.
Rich, thanks for joining.
Thank you, Rich.
Yeah, Kurt, you stole my thunder. You know me.
I know.
I'm high on the Nationals, but you hit all the buttons. And you know what? I'll just add one thing you said about the starting pitching. They went and got a little bullpen help. Lineup's still there, and it's pretty much the same team that won the World Series 2 years ago, minus Rendon. It's pretty much the same team that won the World Series 2 years ago, which got off to a historically bad start. And then all of a sudden they got hot. And I remember being on the air and saying, watch out for this Nationals team with you and Briggsy.
Yep.
And everybody was on the Dodgers. This is the same team. And now they got a 162-game season. This is my
hopefully.
This is my sleeper to take to FanDuel and throw a few dollars on. But I like the Phillies as well. I like all the teams that everybody said. I don't have any disagreement there. How about a disappointment, Kurt? American League.
American League. Okay, I'm sorry. I got my National League. My American League disappointment. I'm going to add another sleeper. I know, but watch for Kansas City this year a little bit, Kenny. The Royals. Okay. All right.
That's a good one.
My disappointment. It's tough. Wow. You know what? I'm going to go Toronto. I think a lot of people are basically saying they're going to challenge the Yankees. I don't think the Yankees are going to get challenged in that division at all anyway. But I still think Tampa Bay is going to outpitch Toronto. And I don't think Toronto's going to make the postseason. So I'm going to say they're disappointing because a lot of people are saying they could challenge the Yankees, which I do not believe. And I don't think they make the playoffs.
Okay. Sis?
The White Sox.
I like it. I like it because everybody's high on them, sis.
Everybody's on the bandwagon.
Yep. I'm on the same division, sis, because I went the Indians as my sleeper.
Right.
I'm going to go with the Twins as my disappointment.
Okay.
White Sox on paper gotten better. They gotten a better manager. And the Indians are my sleeper. They still got the ace. Kurt's sleeper, the Royals. If there's a lot of sleepers in that division, there's got to be a disappointment.
Right.
So I'm going to go right at the top with the Twins because they do not have that pitching. And they're like a carbon copy of the Yankees with worse pitching. And that's why when we face them in the playoffs, we always beat them. So I'm going to say they don't even make the playoffs this year. I'm going to circle them as my disappointment.
Okay.
National League disappointment, sis.
Padres.
Woo. Echoing my words, Kurt. So I'm going to go right to you. I just think that's
Listen.
Yu Darvish, he'll be hurt after the first month. Manny Machado will be hurt. Everybody's going to be arguing with each other over there.
Kenny.
Dodgers are going to win that division by 20 games. You got all these teams fighting for playoffs in the East.
Yep.
Padres will not be in the wild card.
I'm going to triple down. I'm going to triple down with you guys because you're totally agreeing. And I'm even talking about postseason because they're talking how it's going to be Dodgers and Padres in the NLCS. No way. Mets are better in the postseason. Mets
all
are better.
the teams in the East minus the Marlins are better than the
Right.
Padres.
All those teams. The Cardinals are better postseason. No way. Dodgers are better. The Padres, I agree with both of you guys.
I just feel like that's where the sports books are counting their money. Like we're gonna get all the sucker money coming in with the Padres. The Dodgers are going to be the kings of that division, win by 20, and that team is going to be in turmoil. Snell and Darvish, too many new faces in that pitching staff. I don't like it. How about a World Series matchup? Or way too early World Series matchup going into opening day. Who's your World Series matchup, sis?
Oh, you had asked World Series winner. Now you want a matchup. Okay, because I didn't do
okay.
World Series matchup.
So yeah,
that's cool. Definitely the Dodgers. American League. Yeah, that's tough.
Want me to come back to you?
Yeah, come back to me.
Kurt?
I'm going to be honest. It's tough, too. I'm telling you, I cannot pull the trigger on the Yankees. I really can't come postseason.
Yep.
I mean, it's
agree.
an easy. I'm going to be honest. This is the easiest road they've had, but you know what? I'm going to go White Sox Dodgers.
Okay.
Wow.
If you told me
White Sox and Dodgers. Woo!
If you told me I had to put my last $100 on a team, I would put the Dodgers. But I want to be different for the show's sake. I'm gonna go off the beaten path here. I'm gonna go in World Series matchup, Cardinals, in the American League, because they will make moves at the trade deadline. Kurt, and I hate to say this team, Cardinals versus the Astros in the World Series.
Wow. Kenny, we got a question before you continue with Sis. Actually, I got two things going on. Our great friend Matt Staffiero from out in Colorado saying, Rockies open up a season against the Dodgers. What's the likelihood they open the season 0-4 or 1-3? I think they could sneak one. I think they could sneak away with Game 3. Gray is the best matchup Rockies have during the opening series.
Are they home?
Yes, they're home. They're home.
Matt, I think they'll take one at home. I do. You still got, especially in April, beginning of April, you can call it March in Denver. Don't know what the weather's going to be like out there, but the next 4 days, you can easily have. I remember a couple years ago, it was snowed out the first week of the season out in Denver.
Yeah.
You can easily get some cold weather there. Starting pitching's only going to go five innings, 6 innings tops in these games. So I would put money on Rockies taking at least one game.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised if they split the series.
Me too. I was going to say that. I think tomorrow's going to be hard. Opening day, you're the world champs. You got Kershaw. Then you're going to have Bauer. I mean, it's tough, but I would lean.
Only pitching 5 innings, 6 innings.
Yeah, I would lean towards one, but I wouldn't be shocked too, Kenny, if they take 2. I would be stunned if they took 3. Stunned.
Yeah.
Stunned.
Kenny, I'll go on your train. I'll go Dodgers, Astros.
Okay.
Yep.
And World Series champs, guys.
Yeah, that's easy to make.
Dodgers.
Sis, I'm sorry, Kenny, real quick. I just want to give a shout out, sis, to one of your friends, Joanne Panis Ricard.
Oh, yeah, from Florida. Great kid.
I am a friend of Eddie Siciliano and wanted to buy a T-shirt. So
I told you.
the DMK T-shirts from Coach Breslin, going like hotcakes. So
Kurt, I'll have him. You gotta get a picture of him so we can show everybody.
I know. There's this board with all this going on. I'm gonna have to get a second table set up.
That's it. I'll just go because I went Cardinals, Astros. I am not taking the Astros to win the World Series. I will take the Cardinals.
Okay. Well, you know what? You said that. Matt Staffiero just said that would be the best case scenario. Odds, Trevor Story is traded pre-deadline, and he's saying going St. Louis to win it all.
Yeah. Matt, we were talking about the Rockies. We had one of our listeners talk about the Rockies, and we said that we think that it's obviously going to be a rebuilding year. And to get to the Dodgers and even the Padres level, I think it's time to move on from your 2 big guys left, Trevor Story and Charlie Blackmon. And I've never been in that situation being a Yankees fan, and Sis hasn't been in that situation as a Yankee fan. But I think I would call it the 5-year plan, where 5 years from now, all those Dodger contracts, they're going to be burned out with money, and they're going to be no farm system. They're not going to be able to do anything. And the Padres, they got all these heavy contracts too. So I think you got to stay ahead of the Diamondbacks and Giants for the 5-year plan and get your guys up from the farm system and get a team building that way, kind of like what Oakland does.
I will say this, though, Kenny. Trevor Story is going to be a hot name.
Yeah. And I think Charlie Blackmon can be too.
Yeah, Charlie Blackmon, exactly.
And I would sell at the deadline assuming you're out of the hunt. You never know in baseball.
Right. You never know.
It was a 60-game season. Look what the Marlins did.
Right.
You never know. Crazy things have happened.
The problem is you got 2. You do have 2 monsters in that division.
You got 1 monster and 1 potential monster.
You got.
Do you have my paper there, Mr. Valenti?
I do. This is an awesome New York Post today with the baseball. It's awesome.
Give me the Cardinals. Give me the Cardinals lineup, Kurt. Before we get in, we got one more segment coming up, Stump Kurt. But give me the Cardinals lineup. You got the previews. Got their lineups, or
Tommy. Here's the lineup: Tommy Edman, Goldschmidt, Arenado, Paul DeJong, Tyler O'Neill, Molina, Carlson, Justin Williams. Rotation: Flaherty, Wainwright, Carlos Martinez, Ponce de Leon, and John Gant.
Who's their closer?
Their closer is.
He's good. I forget who he is.
I'm sorry.
Kenny,
Kenny, you get the Post out there or no?
No.
I could probably order it.
Yeah, you should. It's a great paper.
That was always my favorite paper.
It's a great
Yep.
paper.
Yep.
Yeah, no, we should write to the Post guys and see if we can get them on our show since we're promoting them so much.
We are.
No, I think that's a sleeper team. I really do, and they definitely got. If Wainwright stays healthy, they got a nice 1-2 punch. Martinez is decent at the 3 spot. I think that's a team that can go and make a move at the deadline. They're going to be dangerous. And what was another team I wanted? Go to the Astros lineup because this is what scares me. They lost Springer, but they didn't lose much else. And this is what scares me if I'm a Yankee fan.
All right, Astros. We got Altuve, Brantley, Bregman, Alvarez, Correa, Tucker, Gurriel, Straw, Maldonado. Rotation: Greinke, Javier, McCullers Jr., Urquidy, Luis Garcia.
Where did Springer go?
Toronto.
Hurt.
He's
Toronto,
good.
right?
I like it. That kid's a player, man.
Yeah.
Watch out for the Astros because you know that they'll make a move.
They'll make a move. And is Verlander coming back?
And it's
That's a
Verlander.
great question. Yeah, that's a great
You know?
question. Yeah.
But they got the ace in Greinke, and anybody who's got an ace, and one more team, Kurt, and then we'll do Stump Kurt. My sleeper team in the American League. Give me the Indians lineup.
I'm gonna get my sweatshirt.
You want the Indians lineup?
Yeah, I know their lineups. I know they lost a little bit, but I still want to see what they got with Bieber.
All right, Luplo, Hernandez, Jose Ramirez, Rosario, Reyes, Franmil Reyes, Josh Naylor, Bowers, Perez, Jimenez.
Bieber at the top.
Bieber, Plesac,
Yep.
Savali, Aaron Savali, Logan Allen, Tristan McKenzie.
At 1-2 punch, watch out for Plesac. That's a sneaky team.
Oh, that's a great 1-2 punch.
That's a sneaky team in that Central with everybody high on the White Sox. Everybody's sleeping on the Indians.
Yep.
So I'll wait for Sis to come back. I got a Stump Kurt Knicks version tonight.
Okay, I'm pumped up.
Get a Stump Kurt. What game are you looking forward to tomorrow? You looking forward to any particular game tomorrow?
Baseball?
Yeah.
Let me just look at
Yankees are playing the Blue Jays.
Yeah, I'll be interested in that one, obviously. Tomorrow night, Mets Nationals.
I want to see the Nationals being down here in Maryland.
And another one would be a little sleeper is the Angels White Sox.
Well, I want to see how good this Padres team looks.
They play
right out of the gate.
Diamondbacks tomorrow.
Well, you know what?
Baumgartner.
Yeah, but you know what? Padres still you want to be considered in the running. Opening day, you got to make a statement.
Oh yeah, I
don't
agree.
want to see you lose game 3-2 when you got all that talent. You know.
Totally agree.
Going forward. There's Mr. Siciliano. I got a little Stump Kurt Knicks.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I had to get my sweatshirt. Get a little brisket.
I got a Knicks version of Stump Kurt tonight.
Okay.
I got two questions for him.
Okay.
Got a little brisket.
On paper. Give me 1 second. I might need more than 1 second. I don't know what I did with it. There it is. All right. All right. First question, Kurt. Since 1990, the Knicks have had 4 players. This, I think, is the easier one of the two.
Okay.
Since 1990.
I'm not cheating. I'm just having my paper to write.
You can write down names. Since 1990, the Knicks have had 4 players score 50 or more points in a game. Name them. And then I got a bonus question after.
Since 1990.
Yes.
All right, so I know those two.
$1990, there were 4 Knicks that had 50 or more points.
What if somebody did it twice? Are you counting that or no?
If if somebody did it twice, it counts as the same player. So there's 4 different players that have done it since 1990.
All right. One's definitely Allen Houston.
Allen Houston did it twice.
Okay, right. Carmelo did it.
Carmelo did it twice.
50. Jamal Crawford?
Very good. He did it once.
50.
You're getting no hint, and that's your hint. You're getting no hint for this guy. He did it twice that year.
I think I'm wrong. I'm going to say Stephon Marbury.
Oh my God, you're missing the greatest.
Ewing?
Ewing did it twice.
Did he do it twice?
All right, bonus question. Who had the most points out of those 4?
Oh, Mello.
How many was it?
It's on my wall, and I'm not going to look. I think it's 62.
62. Very good.
There you go.
Ewing did it on March 24th, 1990 against Boston.
Mello did it against, I want to say, the Charlotte Hornets.
Charlotte Bobcats they were at that time.
Bobcats. I think Allen Houston did it versus the Lakers.
Lakers and the Bucks.
Okay.
He did it twice. Crawford did it against the Heat, and Ewing did it against Boston and Charlotte.
Okay.
My second question. Since Jeff Van Gundy, after Jeff Van Gundy, the Knicks had 13 coaches.
Okay.
And that was since 2001. I'll give you that hint. Can you start naming them? I'm going to say I want you to get 9 of these guys.
All right.
Yes, what game are you looking forward to the most tomorrow? The Yankees?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm curious to see how good the Padres are. And then I want to see the Mets Nationals tomorrow because I'm high on the Nationals this year.
That's tomorrow night.
Yeah. I'm very high on the Nationals this year.
Are the Mets home or away?
I think they're home. No, if the Yankees are home, the Mets are away.
Opening day baseball action.
Bernie Williams throwing the first ball out. Burn, baby, burn.
Is he really? Yeah, cool. Is he going to play his guitar?
He's still writing.
Is he going to play his guitar?
Yeah.
I think I can get 11 of them.
11?
All right, you ready?
All right, and I'll help you with the other 2 because they're not terribly hard.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Thibodeau.
Tibbs, yep.
Mike Miller.
Mike Miller, yep.
David Fizdale.
Yep.
Fisher.
Yep.
Hornacek.
Yep.
Rambis.
Yep.
Mike Woodson.
Yep.
Mike D'Antoni.
Yep.
Larry Brown.
Yep.
Isaiah Thomas.
Yep.
Don Chaney.
Yep.
My other 2 have to be.
Wait, you know what? I'm sorry, I said 13. One did it twice, so there's 12. No, there's 13. I counted wrong. But one did it twice as an interim manager and played on the Knicks. The other one was
I don't have. Oh, Herb Williams.
Yep, and the other one was a legend coach.
Don Nelson?
No, very close though. You're on the right track. 2004-2005 season.
Larry Brown.
Nope.
I said that, didn't I?
In between Herb Williams 2004 and Herb Williams 2005, he took over for this coach. Legend in the coaching ranks.
Coach Brown. Coach Breslin saying UB Brown.
No, that's before Van Gundy,
It
but
ain't
that's
UB
good.
Brown. So one more legendary coach.
One more legendary coach.
What year?
2004, 2005.
Pat Riley.
Another good one.
No, I'm joking.
This is going to
Red
bother me.
Orb.
That's the only guy I didn't get?
Only guy you didn't get, and I'm impressed.
Red Auerbach.
Hold on. This is going to bother me. Give me a second here.
I got to try and give you a hint. I don't want to give it away, though.
He was a legendary coach.
I think he was, yeah. Coached a long time. Basically, who coached after Don Cheney?
I thought it was Larry Brown, but I'm wrong.
No, Larry Brown was after him.
How many years did he coach?
You know, I was only there with the Knicks 1 year, but I want to say he coached this other team for a long period of time. It was an Eastern team. Not Eastern. It was, an Eastern Conference team, Atlantic. It wasn't a West Coast team. Never made it. This team fell into the same category as the Knicks. If Jordan wasn't there, this team would have probably won at least one championship.
Oh, my God. It's nobody from Indiana.
No, but you're on the right track going towards him if you said Indiana.
Can't be Miami.
Nope. Now
You're on Highway 95. You're
going the wrong way with Miami. Indiana's close. So you're on the right track.
It ain't Fratello. He never coached
Nope.
for them. They were going to hire him. Don't tell me. Because this is going to eat me alive. Because I should know this.
I know. And it's there. I know where it is in your brain. It's just not coming out.
He was a one-year coach. Not Bill Lambier.
No. That same division.
Same division. Ah, Coach Breslin got it. Lenny Wilkins.
Yep. Good job, Coach.
He
Yep.
Googled it.
Great call.
Coach Breslin Googled
You're
it.
right. You're right. That was Isaiah's hire.
That was good. I like that. Good questions for you tonight. You were good. I was impressed. I said 9 because I didn't think you'd get Mike Miller off the top of your head. I thought maybe that would skip over you. I thought maybe Don Cheney would be stuck. I didn't think you'd get a couple of those.
Coach Breslin Googled it.
Thank you, Coach Breslin, with the Lenny Wilkins. Ah,
I'm gonna give you a 2-0 tonight because I told you I wanted at least 9. So I'm gonna keep record now.
okay.
So
I did get 3 of the 4 of the other ones. The Ewing one I should have knew, but I did get Crawford, Houston, and Mello. Coach Breslin said I had to Google that one, sis. LOL.
No, I got to give you 1 and 1, Kurt. You should have
Coach
got.
Breslin, I'm just teasing you. Yeah.
In all fairness, I'm going to give you a 1 and 1 record.
All right, it's fine. I'll take it.
You should have got Ewing.
I should have got
You
Ewing.
should have got those 4. I wanted 9 out of the 13 coaches, and you got that. You nailed that. So
Okay.
that was awesome.
Fair.
Liking this Stump Kurt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Good segment.
Between me and Sis, we stumped Kurt.
You get him pretty good, but he's on a ball, man. He's hard to get, especially with the Denver Bronco questions, man.
Yeah, that's why I switched up tonight to go to the Knicks.
Yeah, you kind of like run out of it with him with that.
That was good.
That was a good show.
Yep.
Well,
Good show. Yeah.
Definitely tomorrow, Kurt, where we can do some wagers.
Yeah, tomorrow we'll make our official college basketball Final Four picks. I'm also going to do some homework tonight. I'm going to add the women's Final Four picks for tomorrow. We're going to have.
Okay.
So we got 2
That
games.
was some game the other day. I don't know if you guys
The
saw it.
Baylor UConn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
UConn scored. Went on a 17-0 run.
Yep. Coach
Yeah,
Breslin
yeah.
texted me while we were doing a show, and he said, UConn's in trouble. The next thing I looked on the phone, I was like, how the hell they win? But a controversial call at the end, whether it was a foul or not.
You want a little fun fact about UConn Suggs from Gonzaga is friends with Paige. I forget her last name.
The freshman?
They went to the same school in, I think, Minnesota or Wisconsin, the state they're from. And they're really good friends, them two. And here they are both in the Final Four at their respective tournaments.
Coach Breslin saying, yes, Baylor UConn was a great game. Was it a foul? You know what? By the way,
Yeah.
did you see the coach for Baylor? She had it in the press conference. She had it on her phone. She had pictures, and she said, "Was it a foul? Look at the foul." She was showing pictures. I would say yes, it was a foul. It was a foul. By rule, it's a foul.
What about the ref that went down last night in the Michigan game?
Yeah, the
How
Gonzaga
scary was
game.
that?
Gonzaga game. I did see that.
Well, here's my quick question.
Gonzaga, rather. I was so glad when they got him
up.
up. That was beautiful.
Here's my question to you guys. If you're any sport, referee, football, baseball, any sport, I'm not saying this has nothing to do with the UConn Baylor game, the final call. If a refereeing crew, we'll go football. They're being lenient on the penalties. If there's a penalty towards the end of the game, are you calling that penalty? If you've been letting things ticky-tack calls go all game, are you calling it in the last 2 minutes of a game important spot?
Sis, I think it says.
If my crew is letting things go the whole game, I'm letting it go at the end of the game when it's most important.
Yeah, I mean, you have to.
Now, I don't know. I didn't see the game. I don't know if refs let things go.
I didn't see it either. But, it's a shame that something like that has to decide the game. But
I agree, sis. I totally agree with you.
And in the past, we've seen it, we've seen it happen.
I've always been a believer. And again, I didn't see the game, so I can't give my take on it. But I will say I've always been a believer of let them play.
Did they review it or no? Or they couldn't review it?
I don't think they could review that.
It was okay.
They just.
Yeah, I think that's where I think there should be, teams should be allowed a challenge in the last 2 minutes of the game. Like a little different than football. Like you get one challenge, but it's in the last 2 minutes of the game.
Right. See, this is where, and you know what? Coach Breslin said it was probably a foul, but I think it is hard for an official to hold the whistle unless it is blatant. They could not review it. See, I think this is where, and this is funny because me and Jen were talking about this the other day, talking about like instant replay and stuff like that. But in football, right? Like it's like you could review a turnover, you could review a fumble and stuff like that. Which that's great. But let me ask you something. What happens if you're down 3 points, right? And what happens if you're down 3 points and you have, an 80-yard, 70-yard touchdown run, but they call an offensive hold? That is basically more devastating than maybe a turnover. So why can't you challenge that? Like, then you go and say, that's not a hold. How's that how's that a hold? That just costs you 7 points. Or vice versa, if you're up by 3 points and now the team runs a 70-yard run and it is holding and they don't call it offensive holding, why can't you review that? You know what I mean? Like that shifts the game. That shifts the game. Not just pass interference. It could be a holding call.
What kills me in football, I think they need to change is, and we can get into this for another hour, but I know we're running out of time. Sis, you're a head coach and you challenge a play and you win that challenge. Why are you penalized and you lose a challenge when the refs are making bad calls the whole game? And if you win a challenge, you should still have that many challenge. You should not lose a challenge because somebody called a touchdown when the guy's feet were out of bounds clearly, and you have to throw the flag. No longer because now they changed it, but a key first down where the guy's feet are clearly in bounds and they say he's out, and you have to throw the flag early in the game. You lose a challenge because of that.
Right.
You clearly win the challenge. That drives me crazy when it's such a bad call and you lose a challenge because of it.
Yep.
Well, look at going back to the football real quick. Look what happened in New Orleans a few years back.
Yeah.
2 years in a row, man. 2 years, not 1 year, 2 years in a row.
Yep.
It cost them.
Yep.
So it's really, they haven't refined it to the human error is what I guess I'm trying to say is still involved. And I don't know. I think there should be reviews in the last 2 minutes, whether it's baseball, tennis, football, or whatever.
All right, but I'll play devil's advocate. Well, first, Coach Breslin's saying I think it's a bad idea to review fouls. I think the game is so physical. There could be a foul on every play. Okay, but here's my question, sis. Okay? I have the ball. It's 3rd and 8 in a tie game. There's 2 minutes and 9 seconds left.
Right.
I drop back. I throw the pass. There's 2 minutes and 2 seconds left. Why can't I review that? Because it's it's 2 seconds over 2 minutes. That's not fair either. You know, like why?
No, great.
That Matt, I have to punt now. I have to punt. If it was 3 more seconds, I get the review, but I can't review that. So, you know, things don't have to be only the last 2 minutes, in my opinion. Like, yeah, that sounds good, but the game can be won and lost before that last 2 minutes.
No doubt.
So,
no doubt.
You know.
No doubt.
But the one thing I don't like what you were saying before is like basketball. You know, I don't want to be in a Final Four game, a tie game, and you call a hand-checking foul, and now they're taking free throws. That's ridiculous.
Exactly.
That's ridiculous.
Exactly. You're 100%.
That's ridiculous. You know what I mean, Kenny? Like,
here's my question. Yes, the Baylor coach took a picture, was mad. The player, it was definitely a foul. Are you more mad? Now I know this as a fan watching. I'll answer this from a fan's perspective, but I'll ask you guys. Are you more mad when the penalty is called as a coach and you're the opposite coach? Are you screaming, or are you more mad when the play is not called as that coach?
That's a good question.
A good question. A real good question.
As a fan, I'm mad when it's called.
I'm mad when it's called too.
Yeah, it's like football.
I'm screaming. I'm screaming more when they call it. Yeah, I'm screaming when they don't call it, but I'm screaming more.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Coach,
I agree.
But as a coach, and if Coach Breslin's still listening, and I'd love his response, as a coach, I don't know how to answer that.
Like football, you can call holding on every play.
Right, you could.
You really could.
Right.
What's this? You're the defensive coach.
Right.
Pass interference called on your kid. Are you mad? Yeah, you're obviously mad. Kurt, you're the offensive coach. Pass interference not called on your kid. Who's more mad? Equally mad, I'm sure, but in general, are you more mad if that penalty gets called on your kid or penalty not called?
You know what? I think it's more of, honestly, I'm going to say probably more defensively just for this reason, especially when it's like it's 3rd and 8. You break up a play. You're getting off the field. Now all of a sudden it's, I got to go 3 more downs. I just stopped them. You gave them a first down. That may be a little more.
Okay. Yes, this one. I'll rephrase this a little better, sis. You're the defensive coach, so I'm going to ask you this. Your receiver lines up. He's up against your star defensive guy. Would you rather, like, my question is, clearly offensive pass interference not called and first down opposite team, or defensive pass interference called on your kid and first down because of the pass interference? Which one's worse?
The latter. I was involved in a game at Giant Stadium in 1995. We're playing St. Joe's in Montville. It's 3rd and 10. We were up by 1 point. There was 1:03 to go. They called a pass, a defensive holding call on our outside linebacker that never touched the tight end. And the thing to this story was St. Joseph's team ran off the field because Carthage, who was the coach at the time, they were going to punt to us. A flag came 25 yards from the back judge, gave them a first down. The kid, Polian, scored. He wound up going to Iowa, and we lost the game because of that call. And I've never, ever, ever, never blamed the ref. All my high school, all my college coaching, that game, those kids got robbed.
I'll tell you real quick, but sis, I remember you telling me that story a couple times being there. But the one that I hate, and Coach Breslin could probably, you guys are more of the defensive coaches, Coach Breslin and sis, but I hate when it's like 3rd and 19. Okay? And they're calling on the opposite side illegal contact, or holding on a 7-yard route, and they're giving a first down when it's third and 23.
That's a great point.
That's I'm off the field. My defense is off the field. You're running a 6-yard route, or you're saying, okay, you're holding even if you're holding 10 yards, it's 3rd and 22. Now I give up a first down for that? Like, that's the part that's so frustrating. You should have that ball. You see, and he's saying, yes, agree, Kurt, especially when the ball is thrown to the opposite side. Right. Like, come on. Let's be realistic.
Go ahead.
Sis, what cornerback in the NFL can cover anybody without, think about it. Who could cover Odell Beckham without touching them? Like, you can't.
Correct.
You could call that anytime. But like he's saying, it's the opposite side. They run a 9-yard route, and they're calling holding when it's 3rd and, 22, and they're throwing the ball this side, but they're calling the holding there. Quarterback's not even looking here.
I forgot what game.
This story is back to the Baylor.
Hold up one second, Kenny. I forgot what game it was. Kurt, you'll love this one. The ball was tipped. We were on defense. The ball was tipped. They called a pass interference on the corner of the safety. Almost before the half. We're running off the field. I ran up to the referee. I says, do you know the rules? He looked at me. I said, on a tip ball, you cannot call pass interference. He looked at me. He said, I blew the call.
Right. Oh, thanks.
Nothing happened. There was no touchdown, but still, that's your answer. You blew the call.
Right. But in this day and age where you're, it's very hard for it's hard for an NFL defense to get the offense off the field. The game is geared for the offense, right? So
no question.
When you can get off the field, and now they're throwing this foul, I got to give up another 10 yards. You're in field goal range, so you're giving up points. It's like that. That's just, it's so aggravating. It really is. It's so.
Like you just said, you run an out route for 7 yards, and it's 3rd and 17. Now you got an automatic first down.
Right, automatic first down.
It's a joke.
Come on,
that's a joke. Yeah,
come on,
it's a joke.
That's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous rule.
It really is.
And you know what? The moral of the story is back to the Baylor. We'll end that with the Baylor. I want to see how many calls weren't called on the Baylor players. So you can't. I understand you're mad because it's a game changer, but I'm all about the no call. Right. Unless it's late, I'm all about the no call. That's just me, and that I'll always be that way. I'm all about the no call unless it's a blatant foul.
Far with these NCAA games, thank God, that hasn't been a factor. Let's hope it stays that way.
You watch, and you know what? It's the game, and it's your job. But you watch these refs in the tournament, and watch how fast they're running up and down the court, and how much court they got to cover, each of them.
Oh yeah, they got to be in some shape. Definitely,
probably the hardest game to officiate, in my opinion.
No doubt. And you got to be in shape.
At least college basketball.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yep.
You know, I think it's the hardest one, and they do the most running during that game. Like, you know how the teams run the suicides? The refs must be running suicides too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Again, the refs, I said it 3 times. You got to be in shape to be a ref.
Yeah.
You ain't seen anybody out there with a beer belly running
Nope.
around. Those guys are all built, they're all in shape.
All right, boys. Tomorrow night, little wits and wages. We'll make our men's picks, women's picks. Maybe we'll do some division
We'll do
picks
some
for baseball.
We'll do some baseball opening day.
Yeah.
We'll get our thoughts on some of the early games, and then we'll throw some fun little season wagers on baseball.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
All right, boys.
Good
Have a
show.
good night.
Thank you, everybody,
Good
for
show.
joining, and
Good show.
I'll see you all next time.
See